One of the biggest misconceptions that I've run into in my time in Overwatch, and it's coming in at number 5 in this video, is that Reinhardt is easy to play. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I'll just play Reinhardt, I'll just hold my shield up, let you guys do everything, or oh, I'm playing bad right now, I'll just go Reinhardt. Nothing could be further from the truth. The thing with Reinhardt is that he might be mechanically easy, but your decision making is most likely going to decide your team the match. And I know that you might think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but Reinhardt is your front line, he is your main tank, and if you look at his pick rate and you look at the stats of how often he's picked at not only a pro level, but just in low level matchmaking, it's imperative that you have a good Reinhardt who doesn't throw. How many times have you guys lost games because your Reinhardt just constantly pins in and tries to make huge hero plays? Or you've lost games where it just seems like the enemy team's Reinhardt just always has Earth Shatter up and available, and it seems like he's just always making it count every single time. That's usually because your Reinhardt is getting outplayed. Or another example that I found, if you're playing DPS and you're doing a shit ton of damage and you're getting a bunch of picks and you're still not winning for whatever reason, that's usually a sign that your Reinhardt is getting outplayed. It might sound like I'm exaggerating when I say this, but I do truly believe that a good Reinhardt is just as important as any DPS hero on your team. Your DPS can do as much damage as they want. They can get all the picks in the world, but if your Reinhardt doesn't win the Reinhardt matchup, the other team's tanks aren't going to die. The other team's healers probably aren't going to die either. So Reinhardt is just as imperative as any DPS hero. Reinhardt is what I like to refer to as a high-risk hero. The way Reinhardt is played, it seems simple, it's mechanically simple, but his decision makings are always like life and death, you know? A big Earth Shatter can change the game, or whiffing on an Earth Shatter or getting Earth Shattered can change the game. It's just as big as a Graviton. You know, a nano boosted Soldier 76, a nano boosted Genji, one Earth Shatter, it's down. Earth Shatter is the most underrated ultimate in the game, I believe, and a good Reinhardt is the most underrated hero in the game. A Reinhardt can easily throw, and a Reinhardt can easily win his frontline matchup, and he's going to carry you guys to victory. He's going to set the tone for your team. He's going to decide how aggressive your team can play, where the engagements are going to happen. So if you pick Reinhardt, do not think that your job is easy and you just hold up right click. It's nothing could be further from the truth. Reinhardt can carry, and Reinhardt can throw. Remember that it works both ways. If a hero can carry, a hero can throw. It's a vice versa relationship, so always keep that in mind when you pick Reinhardt. Coming in at number 4 is you press Q to win. Now, a lot of people leave comments on my videos always making fun of my ultimate usage, and they say that I don't get good value out of them, which I don't believe is true. There's a big misconception that when you use Nano Boost Visor or anything, you need to like wipe the whole enemy team, or that if you don't get like good value out of it, it's a waste. Even if you go on to win the team fight, it's kind of ridiculous. I get a ton of people leaving comments on my videos that say that I waste ultimates even though we go on to win the team fights. That's in part due to my zoning and positioning, but it just goes to show you that ultimates aren't everything in Overwatch. Think about it like this. If you use an ultimate, you get a team wipe. How much is a team wipe going to get you in the control game site, for example? If you use all of your ults and you wipe the whole enemy team, you're probably going to get, what, 25%, maybe 30% out of that? You still need 70% more to go, and then you have all of that time in between using your ultimates. That's going to decide another 20, 30, even 40% if the team staggers without ultimates. So people always put way too much pressure on their ultimate usage and think that it's the be-all and end-all of winning in competitive. It's not true. You don't need to use good ultimates to win the match. If you watch this clip here where I play, you see I don't use my ultimate. And you can see we're scoring right now. We're already at 5%. I'm not using an ultimate. We're only using one ultimate right now. We're using Dragon Blade. And you see how much pressure we're putting on the enemy team right now. We're keeping them in their spawn. We're holding them in the choke. And I haven't used my ultimate yet. And you can still see just how effective I'm being. And you can see we've just gained 20%. And I haven't used my ultimate yet. You notice how much pressure we're putting. You see my Reinhardt hitting the pin there. He didn't even use Earth Shatter. He just hit a good pin. We go on to kill the Reinhardt. This Genji's weak. He's going to have to back up. He's going to have to run away. We're all the way up to 32%. I still haven't even used my ultimate yet. They still can't even get out of the choke points. And we're already at 37%, almost at 40%, and we haven't used an ultimate yet. You know, people put way too much pressure on ultimates in this game. They think that if you lose a team fight and you don't use an ult or you waste an ult, you're throwing. It's not true. you see, I've just used an ultimate now, and we've already gained 50%. And I didn't even get good value out of this ultimate, but you could see how much pressure I put on their front line, and how much pressure and how hard I made it for them to push. You know, I didn't even need my ultimate to be effective there. We're already at 60%, and I had used one ultimate that whole time. So anyone who always puts way too much pressure on themselves to use an ultimate, or to make every ultimate get the most value, don't be too hard on yourself. It's not going to win or lose you a game, unless, of course, it's like the last team fight or something. But like I said, don't put too much pressure. Now, being a DPS main that I am, I hear this one a lot. I hear it live to my face. I read it in YouTube comments and whatnot. And a lot of people have this misconception that if I'm a DPS player, it's my job to protect you because you're a healer. Now, I'm not sure where this idea comes from. Maybe it's from like a MOBA or something. Maybe that's true in a MOBA. But in Overwatch, it's simply not true. The healers in this game have a lot of utility they can use to protect themselves. And just like it's your job to heal me, it's my job to kill other things. So if I see a weak enemy player on the other team, you know, I need to go for the kill. You know, I can't just stay back and protect you. If I stay back and protect you, you're immediately limiting what I can accomplish as a DPS player. If you're a good Mercy, like this player is here, or the Ana I just showed who was hitting those sleep darts, you can easily stay alive, you know. It's your job equally to get in a good position and to stay alive as much as it is for me to protect you, okay? If a healer goes out of position, as a DPS player, it's not my job to save you. Obviously, I'm going to protect any one of my teammates. I'm going to protect my other DPS partner. I'm going to protect my Zarya. I'm going to protect my Reinhardt. I'm going to make every play I can to make my team win. You don't get special protection or guardianship just because you're a healer. If the other team is diving you super hard, maybe you should switch to a different healer that can't be dove so easy, like a Lucio or a Mercy. Or like Zenyatta, for example, is a terrible hero to play against a dive comp. And if you play a Zenyatta against a dive comp, don't bitch at your DPS that they're not protecting you. You have all the jukes in the world. You can easily protect yourself. One of the most frustrating things that you can encounter in Overwatch as a player is when you're really good at one hero, and I mean really good, like top 1% good, and that hero happens to, for whatever reason, fall out of the meta. You're still very proficient using that hero, you still win a lot with that hero, but your team just wants to pin every loss on you just because you're playing an off-meta hero. Now let me tell you, this is not true. You can make almost any hero in this game work easily if you just use teamwork and you just play around it. And when I say play around it, I make it sound like it's weak. Honestly, like off-meta picks aren't even weak. No hero in this game is weak. There's strong heroes, there's broken heroes like Soldier at the moment, or Genji back in Season 1, or Bastion when he got buffed to the moon. There's broken heroes, but there's no weak heroes. And the way you win in Overwatch is comboing ultimates, using teamwork, and staggering, and getting value out of ultimates, and outplaying the players on the other team, for example. I've always believed in Overwatch that the player makes the hero, not the other way around. Just because, like, I played Soldier 76 back when he was actually tier 3, and I had a 60% win rate with Soldier 76 when he was tier 3, and I made it into the top 500, and every single time we lost a game, they would always pin the blame on me because I'm Soldier instead of McCree, because McCree was tier 1 at the time. And I always just said to them, I have a 60% win rate. You can check it for yourself. Numbers don't lie. I win 60% of my games when I play this hero. And if you're going to complain that it's my fault, you should probably look in the mirror, because you're in the bottom 40% of my teammates, because I have a 60% win rate. So, you know, you're probably sucking. And one thing that's funny about meta slaves is that they never blame, like, you will lose just as much playing the meta as you will playing off meta. So I've always found it funny how people will lose and they'll say, "Oh, this player sucks at DPS," or "This healer's bad, this Mercy's bad, so we can't win." But like if you're playing to the meta, they'll just say, "Oh, you suck at this hero. You should just switch off DPS," or something like that. They just always find something to blame. Everything but themselves. So if they see you playing off meta, they'll most likely pin the loss on you, but if you have a high win rate, it will speak for yourself. And last but not least, the #1 myth in ranked Overwatch is that ELO Hell is an actual real thing, and ELO Hell is a real thing that can actually hold you back from climbing up to leaderboard and getting up to the next rank, Diamond, GM, top 500, Platinum, Gold, you know. People always blame their teammates when they lose. They always say that your teammates hold you back. And don't get me wrong, it is true. In Overwatch, if you are a really strong player, usually they're going to put you on a team with weaker players because you're going to carry them, right? And that's how balancing matchmaking works. They're never going to be able to find 6 players for each team that are all equal skill level, right? So obviously you're going to get bad teammates if you're a DPS player like I am. I'm sure you can relate. It feels like you're doing so much, and sometimes you still lose. And don't get me wrong, some games are completely unwinnable. From the very start, you can just get that feeling that they are completely unwinnable. But, you know, I've always believed that you can always just do more. A lot of people think like, oh, I got 2 picks and we still didn't win the team fight. I always say like, okay, you got 2 picks. Why don't you get like a 3rd one, a 4th one? It always snowballs, right? I mean, if you get an opening pick, you shouldn't just hold forward and run in there and then just die, right? One of the biggest things I always hear people say when they're venting to me about being in ELO Hell is like, they always say the same thing. I get 1 or 2 picks every single team fight. We still lose them. Like this ELO is impossible. Like I'm never going to get diamond. I just want to say, if you get the opening pick and then you die right after, that pick is useless. Even if you get the opening pick, you should be able to just heal up, relax, focus, and then move forward from there. I think where a lot of players go wrong when they're playing DPS is they get 1 or 2 picks and then they just hold forward and they just stop thinking and they just try to kill them and then they end up dying or whatever. I always think that those players who get the 1 or 2 picks, if you get the opening pick and then you die afterwards, you're throwing. Even though you got the opening pick, you shouldn't die afterwards. So anytime you die during a team fight, it's just as much your fault as your team's, unless there's like 4 of them chasing you halfway around the map. But those situations are few and far between. So if any of you experience ELO Hell, I promise you, I guarantee you it's not a real thing. And believe me, if you are a DPS player, you can always do more. I always believe that you can always carry. You can always just go do more. If you record some of your own gameplay, you can use OBS and record it like that. And you can watch, like, say you have a really good day of Overwatch. Record it and then go back and watch when you're having a really good day, and you'll see just how hard you're going, just how much you're doing for your team. And then that's the standard that you set for yourself moving forward. And then you tell yourself, okay, if I'm not playing this well, then I don't deserve to win. I assume a lot of you people viewing this are probably DPS mains, since a lot of people who are subscribed to my channel are, because a lot of people come watch me to get better at Soldier. So one thing I want to say is, in order to carry in Overwatch, you need to go, as I always like to say, you need to go ham. Just playing your role is not enough. If you play average, or you play Soldier, you get 2 golds, a silver or whatnot, who cares, man? Like, honestly, who cares? Gold medals are not a measure of how hard you're carrying. You can get gold medals and do your job, and you are doing your job, but doing your job isn't a carry. It doesn't mean you should win. If you play DPS and you kill things, that doesn't mean you should win. You need to kill things, and then you have to kill things again, and kill things again, and just be an unstoppable monster. I can really attest to the fact that ELO Hell does not exist, and you are the rank exactly that you should be. I have 2 accounts currently in the top 500. I don't know if they'll finish in the top 500, but I have 2 accounts in the top 500 right now, and my other account is 4.2k, and I don't play any of my mains on there. I don't play Tracer, I don't play Soldier, I don't play Zarya, I don't play McCree. All I play is Roadhog and Genji. They're not my mains, and I'm 4.2k. Every account I play on, I always immediately just skyrocket to 4.2k, and I know you might not be as good as I am, but it still does prove, the fact that I have 2 accounts in top 500 proves that ELO Hell is not a thing. If you are a plat player, a diamond player, a masters player, GM player, top 500 player, I promise you, you deserve to be exactly where you are. And you just need to raise your standard and what you think you deserve. For example, top 500 used to be really hard for me to achieve, because I viewed top 500 as like the final hurdle, like the peak of the mountain. And because I set the peak of the mountain as top 500, getting there was always really hard. Now getting top 500 is just a standard that I set for myself, and I feel like if I'm not in top 500, then I'm not doing well. So if you're in platinum, you know, set a standard for yourself that you're gonna be diamond, and I don't mean just tell yourself I want diamond. Like, you're gonna get diamond because that's your standard. Like, you won't accept anything less. And you know, once you guys raise your standards, and you decide that I'm not a platinum player, you will get out of platinum, I promise you. That being said, remember, boys, you are exactly the rank you deserve to be, and you can improve with practice. If you are in platinum, gold, bronze even, there's nowhere else to go but up. And I honestly am jealous of that, because there's not much room for me to improve anymore. If I got any better, I would just be a pro player, which is very, very hard. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys want to get better at Soldier 76, go check out my Get Better Fast series and my new coaching series. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys for all the support. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be making more videos like this in the future. So I just want to say thank you so much for your support once again, and thank you so much for watching.